now with that in mind, here's what happens. For folks who don't know, what happens is the X and the Y chromosome get in there, right? Mom and dad create child, conceive. It's going to be XX or XY. Few people are XX, Y, few are YY, XYY, etc. But most folk are XX, XY. The Y chromosome tells the mom system, this is a male. So I've got a male in here. Your system is going to have to shift to make sure to create a male brain to fit this male body. So what happens is a little shot of androgenic goes in from the mom, from the ovaries, shoots in and signals the male child to drop the testes. As the testes are dropping, so this starts around 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks in utero onward, the testes drop, and as they drop, they shoot testosterone through the system. And this is how you get what we call gender differentiated brains, what we used to call sex differentiated brains. So by 6 months in utero, the male and the female brain are formed. Doesn't mean they won't be affected by life, of course they will, but they're structurally formed by 6 months in utero, okay? And that happened primarily because the default human brain is a female brain. That's our theory, right? That everyone is really XX until about 4 to 6 weeks in utero when the Y cells kick in and say, I'm not XX, I'm XY, I need to differentiate. And it takes about 6 months in utero to differentiate. And then by 6 months in utero, males and females are immune to the cross-sex hormone. So remember that females, right, fetal females are getting testosterone, fetal males are getting estrogen. We're all getting each other. In fact, right now, all the men have estrogen, the women have testosterone. It's called androgenic hormone in women, but it's testosterone, right? So we all have what each other has. But the difference is a difference in degree. So males get 10 to 20 times more testosterone, and it's flooding their system. It floods up, and it not only changes, the whole body, but it changes the brain. So that's what this is about. Chromosome markers are on the X and the Y. Then you've got the in utero development that completes at around 6 months, but and then by 9 months the child comes out, or if it's preemie earlier than that. Then nurture, culture, and socialization are going to be part of that. So chromosome markers and the fetal development, that's the lighthouse. That's the nature part that we need to integrate into all our systems. And then comes nurture, socialization, which is great too, and everyone does what they do with that. And as we were remarking a little earlier, for instance, without knowing that males are so testosterone driven, or by saying it doesn't matter, testosterone's poisonous, we don't want it, by doing all that stuff, we didn't scientifically understand guys. So over a period of 30, 40 years, we reoriented education away from what worked for the male brain and more toward what worked for the female brain. And that's a big thing to say, so you have to test me on that, but let's think about it. The male brain on the right is not doing words. The female brain is doing words on the right. Okay? The male brain is doing words on the left, and so is the female brain. So that means the female brain is doing words on both sides. Okay? The male's only doing it on the left. That also means that female brain, so the women in this room, the women who are watching anywhere in the world, remember, this is transcultural. It's transcultural. This comes in on the X and on the Y. So this is why it exists in all cultures. In China, anywhere in Africa, in Europe, in Australia, wherever you are, this exists because it came in on the X and the Y. And my work, as some of you may know, I'm always inserting studies from, that are multicultural. So I'm taking studies from Europe, Asia, Australia, South America, et cetera, because I want to make sure we're always transcultural. We're always dealing with the nature stuff that's the lighthouse. So one of the things that happens in every culture is they can see guys are throwing objects, and they don't talk as much. Or if they talk as much, because a lot of guys like me talk, they don't talk as much about what? What do you think? We all, right? People say this is a stereotype. That's why I have no gender stereotypes. People will say, no, you can't say that. If you say that males don't tend to talk about their feelings as much as females, you'll be gender stereotyping, you will ruin the world, you should be put in culture jail, it's really bad. However, wherever you go in the world, you find that that there are males who talk a lot, and again, I'm one of them. And every male presenter you'll hear or you've seen anywhere at home, we talk a lot. But we don't talk as much about feelings and about sensorials. So here's what the research shows. The male brain is not talking as much. It's not connecting the verbal centers, which for males are here, with the sensorial and emotive centers. Okay, that's the key. That's the key. And that's something that's so important for every system we create.